Welcome to the channel. Today is the neglected makeover. Do y'all have a room in your house that you kind of want to shut the door and don't want to show? That's kind of what this room is for me. So it's my husband's den or office or his space. So I kind of looked at it and I thought it needs a makeover in the worst way. Normally he was working from home for a while there, and so it really just needed to be cleaned up, decluttered, and some big pieces changed in the room in order to give it a new feel and a new upgrade, if you want to look at it that way. Me, a little more mature look. We had lived in Charleston, South Carolina area, very coastal. At that time, that's what the colors I was using in his other office at the other house. It was more of a very light blue, aqua, light grays, in order to give that kind of airy feel. Here, it doesn't really... It looked immature. It looked like a kid's room, more or less. So I wanted to upgrade those. Now I'm going to insert all the before photos and video right here. Okay, this is my husband's den. That's that room I told you it was a dining room. There's the doors. His desk. All his musical instruments that hang in front of the door. And then window. He keeps an air conditioner here because when the computers are going, it gets too hot. A shelf. And we keep a day bed in here for when the grandbabies come, so we have extra bedding. And then we have over here. And this is the before. Okay, so you saw the before. It really just needed to be decluttered. And I didn't film that. He did that on his own. Those are his things. He went through everything and kind of cleaned up and decluttered. Sorry for the echo. First thing that I did is I replaced that light blue sideboard cabinet. I wanted something with a little bit more of a masculine feel, a little bit more space. Just to get around and at least show you this space is where we've started. I purchased this off of Facebook Market. Only paid $60 for it. It's in fantastic shape. It holds all his music and all his stuff that he needs. There is a little cabinet over there that he keeps locked that's got some items in there that we don't want the kids to touch or get into. Another one of his dulcimers I placed up here off the floor. We cleaned up the top of it. We left his record player, his records. I brought in that library lamp that I've had with the faux plant. We have his beloved cat that passed. That was Gretchen. If you've been here since the beginning, you would have seen her, the long-haired Siamese. And then I brought in a favorite piece of art that I had stored out in the studio for a while, and he really loves that piece of art, so I brought that in and we hung that up, and I think it just cleaned it up from the before. Not painting the walls. This is the day bed. I'm going to clean this up. The shelf above I'm going to paint and give it a faux wood paint treatment on it. And really the styling above there I've already done. We keep live plants in here because cats don't usually come in here. And it's the only place I can keep live plants. We've moved a freestanding lamp over into the corner. There is a small little table over there that holds, like, if he wants to put a drink down or something like that, that's there. That's my dulcimer on the wall, my one and only instrument in here. And then I am going to add a couple more panels of that gray drapery to the window to give it more fullness. Now, the desk he cleaned up, you'll notice. It's all nice and tidy now. Instruments are going to stay. Those are his. That's his thing. So our family is very musically inclined. All my children play an instrument. My husband sings and plays. My youngest sings and plays. So my grandbaby is learning drums, the oldest of the grandbabies. That's what she wants to do. So my grandfather was a professional drummer, so it runs in the family. So we will see. But yeah, this is his room. And that's the door that leads out to the kitchen. So this is where we're going to start. All right, y'all, I'm about ready to paint the shelf. Now, I could take it off the wall, but it's held on by like 6 gazillion screws. And my husband's not home, and I just feel like doing it now. No makeup, in my painting clothes. So I'm just gonna tape it off and paint it. What I'm gonna do is a faux wood treatment. This is wood underneath it. It had a pine stain on it because my old house, I had pine floors. So it was a shelf that my husband built. There's little holes. Used to be a quilt hanging shelf that he made for me. So, but I am just going to go ahead and, like I said, paint it while it's on the walls. In fact, I've taken everything off the shelf itself. I'm gonna learn all the pillows and the mattress. You get the point. So I can stand on the daybed and paint. Paints I'm going to be using acrylic black paint, a tan, which is, it looks more like a cream once you combine it with the other ones, burnt umber for my dark brown, and raw sienna for my lighter, orangier tone, because I'm trying to kind of match the furniture that's in here. I'm just going to squirt it into a plate. I have a cup for water. I'm going to use just a couple brushes, obviously painter's tape, and a straight edge. Okay, here we go. So I just take a little beige, a little brown, a little sienna. I just kind of mix it in, and off we go. Now you can't roll this, has to be done obviously with the brush. Like I said, I just kind of take my time, long strokes. So that's what grain looks like. And you adjust it as you go. I put a little more dark, I put a little more light. I kind of swirl a little bit in there. I even put a little black. And you know what? I'm gonna switch brushes. Alright. Cut back to my artist brush. I like that better because to me it leaves less streaks. Yeah, much better. I'm getting in those little holes. And this is all I do. I know it looks kind of weird right now. Like I said, it's just a blending of those browns and that beige. And I keep looking down at the day bed, make sure I've got the colors. Now, if you wanted to make like a knot, do a little circle, go around, and then blend it back in. That's pretty much what one of my faux wood treatments looks like. And it's always blending it. Make sure you're always blending it. So, hopefully this gives you an idea of if you have something that you need to make it look like wood. If you find that your acrylics are getting just a little too thick, just to dab your brush into a little bit of water, and it helps. And like I said, if you find you get a little too light, a little too dark, a little too orange, always go back in. And it's just using those really long strokes that make such a difference in your faux wood. All right, I'm gonna pick this back up when I'm done, because you don't need to sit here and watch me paint the entire shelf. It's just not it. You saw what it looks like. It's just a blue, which was painted originally in a chalk paint. So, all right, it's all done. At least the faux wood part of it's done. As soon as this dries, I will put a coat or two of polyacrylic on it to protect it. And then I will reload everything that was up there, back up there, because I like the way I styled it in the first place. So again, if you have something that is not real wood, or it's been painted and you don't want to strip it, this is a fantastic way of doing it, as you challenge you to come here and stand here and tell me that it wasn't stained. Okay, it's just those long brush strokes and those blending of those colors. And like I said, I did it pretty much to match the day bed is what I was striving for. So break out those paints, acrylic paint. They're cheap. They're little water for the blending purposes. I use a smaller 1-inch artisan brush because I feel I have better control with it. So that's the no more blue, no more light blue at least. Okay, as soon as I get this done and polyed, which again is just a polyacrylic, is like a polyurethane, but it's water-based and it doesn't yellow over time, and it's soap and water cleanup. So dries very fast. It's my go-to protective finish. So all right, this is done. We're going to talk about the decorating of the shelf. I'm not going to do it with you because up and down again, the ladder is not a good thing. I started off, I placed all 3 plants on there, one at each end and one in the middle. Then I placed 3 art pictures layering on the background. And then I filled it in between. I took the antique radio first, and in that box is an antique radio. It helps fix it. It's a technical thing. I have no idea how it works, but the old transformer bulbs, things of that nature. So I placed those 2, and then I filled in with some books because books are oh so important. And then came the glass items, which are the barometers and the hourglass. And that's all there is to this shelf. So in threes and in odds. Other than the barometers, I need one more, make it an odd. And here it is with 2 panels on each side. Sorry about the window giving off the backlight, but it just adds more fullness and it looks more luxurious than it did before. Same panels are just a gray microfiber type panel. Now the next thing that we're gonna do is we are gonna replace this carpet. Now you notice it's got the aqua blue and the brighter blues. I am going to replace it with a carpet that has more of a navy, a gray, and a gold. And that's going to bring, again, more of a masculine feel. And here you have the new rug. It's slightly smaller, but I got a deal on it in Facebook Market. And I've been holding on to it. I only paid like $30 for it. It's a 6x8 by 9x8, I think it is. So just a little bit darker colors, a little less vibrant colors, if you want to look at it that way. So that ends all the big ticket items that we've changed out in this room. So we've changed the rug. We changed the sideboard. We changed some of the art. We decluttered, changed the lamp, changed a little bit of the furniture arrangement, but not much. We faux stained the shelf to give it a darker, again, more masculine appeal. We added a couple of drapery panels onto the window to add fullness. And that's really all we did. We left the same bedding because bedding's expensive and it still goes with the carpeting and the drapes. So that's all there is to it. I'm gonna give you a little tour to music. Thank you for watching. If you like this kind of content, please thumbs up, hype, and subscribe. Okay. So, what do you think of the makeover and what's your favorite part?
It's splendid. Very nicely done. Love the rug.
Okay.
And the Afghan and...
Well, the Afghan was here.
I love having a place to put all my precious stuff.
Well, you had that before.
But there's more room, and a lot of it was out in the open, and now it has new homes for everything, and they're
less clutter.
Less clutter, yes. Not that I clutter. I'm a collector.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think about the stained shelf?
I think it goes well with the day bed and the new storage sideboard storage unit, and it really gives it a nice, warm, homey feeling.
Okay. If you could change anything that I did, what would it be?
I can't think of a single thing. What you've done here is really spectacular. And it really makes it feel homey and warm.
So much better than what it was before.
Yes.
Okay, because
although I do tend to lean towards the chaos
tropical
theory, and the chaos theory on things, but this is much better.
Okay.